Feature Friday.
The freshest.
Okay, so I know about this one a bit.
Okay.
This is Kuldeep and Pai. And you gotta see, I think it's like two little kids. And he sort of guide them. And he has quite a lot of lore and folklore. And sort of he has subtitles and stuff. I have no idea what to expect. But people were like, you have to at least watch a video from him. He's sort of like a teacher. So let's give it a watch.
Okay.
And it's mixed lovely. What the hell? Salutations. Little Krishna. Straight away, you have to keep tempo. If not, you'll get lost in
Well, that's why they're so
everyone.
physical about
All three
it.
of them.
Yeah,
All three of them.
That's why they're so physical about it. Also, I love her vocal timbre.
She's awesome, right?
It's got this like coding to it. There's an edge of like natural alto, but yet not it.
She'd be great for alternative music. She has that natural gloss.
Yes, she does. Yeah, get complicated, baby. This is a lovely video.
So Ragam Gabira Nata. So what's the rag they use there?
How did she know when to come in?
Nice! It's my favorite piece of the day. These kids are outstanding.
How do they know? I don't understand this. Ooh, love the string section. Bro, breathe.
Play that section again. Play that section again. that's the best example I've got of the relationship between instrumentalization through minor percussion and vocals. That relationship is unique to India because it's so weird, man. It's as if you were explaining to me how a feel of a song was, but you didn't know what it was. It goes like takan tutum takadadang tang.
But you're singing and you're actually.
And I'm trying to replicate that because when we were playing last month in all across different bars, different songs and stuff like that. Sometimes some of the feels, what was it? Takan taragatum pra.
Yeah.
And then you're like, takan taragatum. And they've managed, right, because it also comes from dancing.
Yeah.
Sort of tap is a good example of that. Yes. I've never seen Indian classical dancing apart from what we've seen in like some of the movies.
Yes.
I love this piece.
This is fantastic. It's brilliant.
I actually think if I was going to introduce anyone to, because I want the podcast. I want to be able to send the podcast to my friends, and which I do. But especially in this difficult subject, I have to say this is one of the most cognitively challenging podcasts that we have done in a good while.
I totally agree.
Maybe ever. The other one was probably Italy. That was quite because of operatic singing.
Yes,
difficult to understand.
But then again, it's all coming down to the roots of
singing
music.
in different parts of the world.
And it's not even singing. I think you're getting down to the roots of music itself.
Yeah.
When it comes to Indian classical music, because I believe that a lot of the music that we know, the techniques that we are familiar with in the West, the things that I learned when I was learning,
originated there,
came from here in some way or another. The rhythms, the micronotes, the runs, the riffs. There must be some kind of like originated root to it, and I think this is the purest form to come close to the beginning.
Yeah, so I agree. I think also it's like, again, it's just so refreshing to see different concepts be played out so as the foundation, because it's not just like it's like an intricacy of the piece. No. The piece is that. It's the connection in between, tempo exploration, which that's probably the question I'd love to sit down with someone or have him on the podcast. So this is an open invitation to anyone who's somewhat an expert into this. And that's the thing I would love to discuss. What's the philosophy behind the tempo, and how do you introduce such signatures in different moments? Do you have maybe keywords that you sort of know? It's also quite hard because the pieces are so long. I don't know whether you understand that maybe a chorus.
But they haven't repeated anything.
They did, obviously, the katika.
But that's not actual. That's not actual words. That's part of the rag.
Sure, but I'm just saying that's the chorus.
But I suppose there's an obvious structure to the song.
Yeah.
Right.
So you kind of learn it like a Western classical. I mean, in the musical score sense, aspect of things. The thing is, they don't have anything written. So it's a bit more challenging mentally.
Listen, the whole composition and delivery of this particular piece is...
This is just us questioning shit left and right.
It's brain melting to me.
I should have swear, go on.
I don't get it.
Direct correlation. Even in the accentuations of the tabla, they're the same.
It's like the same inflection as the singing.
But he attempts, like what we saw of Hussein in the previous one, he attempts to create a different frequency, a different
tonality to the rhythm.
Alongside, oh my God.
I love how the teacher is like just loving life.
అధిక మృదుల
think it's more of an illusion.
It's a 2-2 though.
Yeah.
No, Efra, there's no illusion there. This is hard.
So the signature remains the same.
But the dynamics are so sickening. I am lost. How? What freaking hell?
God, the previous beat is unreal.
ದಿದಿಷು ತಕ್ಕಾಲ ವಿಧಿನುತ ಶೀಲ ಅತಿಶಯ ನೀಲ ಧೃತ ಪದ ಲೋಲ ದಿದಿಷು ತಕ್ಕಾಲ ವಿಧಿನುತ ಶೀಲ ಅತಿಶಯ ನೀಲ ಧೃತ ಪದ ಲೋಲ ತಾಕು ಜಣಂತರಿ ತಾಕು ಜಣಂತರಿ ಜಣಂತರಿ ಧಿಮಿತಕಿತ ಜಣು ದಿದಿಷು ತಕ್ಕಾಲ ವಿಧಿನುತ ಶೀಲ ಅತಿಶಯ ನೀಲ ಧೃತ ಪದ ಲೋಲ ತಾಕು ಜಣಂತರಿ ತಾಕು
It's the blue one, Krishna.
ಜಣಂತರಿ ಧಿಮಿತಕಿತ ಜಣು ಧಿಮಿತಕಿತ ಧಿಮಿತಾಕ ಧಿಮಿತಕಿತ ಧಿಮಿತಾಕ ಧಿಮಿತಕಿತ ಧಿಮಿತಾಕ
You are insane. That's crazy.
What the f...
Oh, come on! Throw the
Well, he
freaking
essentially
shoe.
did a fill with his mouth. Isn't that crazy? He essentially did like a percussion fill with his mouth. And that's also, it's quite, so it's making more sense things in how in music, in the Indian music industry, especially, for alignment of movies or perhaps just for music videos, they do have the capability of playing naturally with the flexibility. Their time signatures are quite elastic in the sense of a 2x2, you can fit quite a lot of things there. Yeah. And you can play, I was listening to, Marvin McQuitty before he passed away, and he was talking about time elasticity, and you can create the illusion that a 2-2 is longer.
Yeah.
By so 1 2 1 2 1 2 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, and I haven't left the signature, so you can add those type of fills, or you can add those type of rudiments or paradiddles.
Natural dynamics to that space.
But you elongate things, so it's like
or you accelerate. So in tap, there was this really difficult section of the syllabus, especially for me, because I've never done anything percussive in my life until I put a pair of tap shoes on, and that's the closest I could come to understanding rhythms and stuff.
Percussion.
So
very closely. I didn't know about that about tap. It's very closely related to
it is. Yeah, it's basically playing the drums with your feet.
Yeah.
It's just carrying on a tempo dynamics and rudiments with your toes. So it's really interesting, because when my teacher used to explain to us as a class the understanding that you could be at the front of the bar, or you could be syncopated halfway through the bar, and you could be pulling back towards the end of the bar, and all of these dynamics happen in the same stagnant time signature. So you could be playing with a 4/4 or a 2/2, for example, like you're having it here, but you could be accentuating different sounds at the beginning of the bar, halfway through the bar, on the beat of the bar, and then at the end. So there's a lot of elasticity, that you could really understand, and it comes like dialogue, because it's like different inflections, like different words would have different inflections, and so it's like playing with that idea of different accents in the same stagnant time signature.
Because you do that in speech quite often. I mean, for example, it's like in many of these reviews or whatever, it's like, oh God. It wasn't a God. It wasn't a G-O-D. It was a God. It was a G-O-O-O-O-D.
That's right.
Right. And I guess with the tempo, what you're trying to say as well, that's why paradiddles are so important. To learn different accentuations of different hits. The ones, the twos, the threes, or the fours. But I guess what they do really well here, and it's sort of so ingrained in the culture and from the beginning since they're so young, is their their foundational understanding of time signatures. Even though the time signature is not like a 16/8 or anything like that, quite mental. 6/8, it's the most popular from what I've seen, apparently. Which is fucking odd. Why would you do that?
It's complicated, but I have to be honest. If you want to approach anything on a 2/2, it feels so natural. Because the most natural inclination is a 4/4.
Yeah.
Right? So to work on a 2/2 is actually quite physically demanding.
Yeah, I presume it's a 2/2. I haven't actually paid that close attention. I think it is, yeah.
They've been stuck there since right from the beginning. I don't think there's a question to that.
What I'm saying is, their understanding of timing, it's really, really profound.
The understanding of tempo dynamics is incredible. See, I'm having a hard time with that.
Stays the same. That's what I mean about the illusion. You only learn that shit playing.
That's right. Only doing it.
I love that. Janutam.
They would make the best raps ever. Bro.
That's why I'm so fascinated by the language. Or worship, or spoken word. Yeah, I want to be able to send the podcast to my friends, and the reason why I'm saying that is sometimes some of the pieces that we check out are so complex, they're not music heads, they don't understand anything apart from if it sounds good or bad. And I think this would be the best example of, look, this is what classical music from India sounds like, because it's so enjoyable, so melodious. It's so innocent in its own sense as well,
yes.
given their... obviously the presence of the little kids and stuff, and it's so joyful and bright.
But it also gives this idea that it's easy to digest, given the fact that there is somewhat like a context explanation, and even though a lot of it's down to the performance itself, I have to be honest, the work, the inner work behind this production is insane.
Awesome. That's my favorite one.
That is I am lost
what
for
have we
words.
got next?
I really don't understand.
I do apologize. Again, I don't know if any of you were expecting perhaps like us to understand all of this like this. I do hope you're still enjoying it, and thanks if you're watching this long. It's just it's a quite an odd experience to try and dissect this, because is so new.
We
you
have
know?
never. I don't think I have ever gotten so deep.
No, this is the first time ever we've heard classical music for this amount of time.
Yeah.
That isn't like, I guess you guys requested as well, like by Girao Mastani, we've done a review of that, and we did kind of speak about the musical score and stuff like that. But we didn't have a chance to dive that deep into the musical score. So we didn't decide to put any like Bollywood movies that we had watched or anything like that. We kind of just trying to look at the core of things.
Yes.
And talking about